Real quick. Monica?
Yeah.
I didn't log on yet, and I'm checking.
What was the arrangement?
She has. So she's going to join us live.
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please stand and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We remain standing for the oath of silence. Here.
Mr. Mangino.
Present.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the board meeting tonight. This is our voting meeting for the month of March, so it's going to go pretty quick. Last Wednesday's meeting was our work session when we discussed possible action items, and we've had the week to ask questions and think about it. So it will go, and there is time for questions during the meeting also. Item E, recognition of meetings, February 5th, 6th to 6:59, State of Laurel executive session. No, that wasn't the state of Laurel. 7:07, 7:25, regular meeting of the board. 7:31 to 8:01, State of the Laurel budget meeting. And March 5th was 7 to 7:40, board work session, and 7:42 to 8:23, executive session for personnel. Yeah, we got an athletic committee meeting there.
Monday night.
Today's Wednesday, 6 o'clock to about 7:30.
And the date is, take a note, the date is not February 10th, for that.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, okay.
that as well.
Okay, item A, pride and policies.
That's all
All right.
If we don't have Monica and she joins, we'll come back to Monica, all right? But we have another Pride and Promise Award winner due to her superb driving skills and reactions in the face of what quite seriously could have been a tragedy. We received a nomination from Mrs. Guy, was happy to award Ms. Palmer Pride and Promise. I think that our FFA program is in good hands. I think her commitment speaks for itself, and thank her for staying calm under pressure and getting our kids safely home. So thank you. You have a certificate. You can take your picture, and you guys want to get in a picture with it? All right.
Thank you very much.
Wendy, you want to tell the board?
Thank you for supporting our ag program. There's not many schools. Lawrence County is blessed to have 3 or 4 chapters, but that's very rare for Western PA. So thank you for supporting ag program in Western PA. Appreciate it.
You can go up by the smart and take a picture. Thank you. Monica's not here, but here's her book. And it's going to be in the elementary library. And she says, "Dear students, I hope that you are enjoying your time at Laurel. It's a great school with many wonderful teachers. Also, I hope you enjoy following the adventure of the cats. The Cats of Old San Juan. You want to read it before it goes to the library?
Oh, well, I'm actually reading the other books on bottom right now.
Okay, thank you.
Reports from any standing committees of the board. Item 4, administrator supervisor, she's on reports, any additions?
Hi, Monica, we'll be with you in a moment. Nice to see you. Can you hear us, Monica?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Okay, item B,
Hello?
information reports. Item 5, any comments or questions from the floor relative to the agenda items? Just let us know, I guess.
This might be a good time to rewind to Pride and Promise. I have your book, your signed book here for the kids in the library, and I think it's pretty cool here. We're connecting with you in Puerto Rico. How's the weather down there?
Hot.
Oh,
It's been hot and sunny.
so bad for you. So tell
Well,
us
you wouldn't envy the summer months. The summer months get so hot that you can't even go outside. You just have to stay in.
So tell us about your book.
Okay. Where should I start? What would you like to know? What do you know already?
What inspired this work?
Oh, okay. So, actually, well, my mom moved to Puerto Rico about 20 years ago, and I was visiting. And this was before the hurricanes, before Hurricane Maria and things. And Old San Juan was a little bit different, a little less touristy. So the first time I went there, I thought it was one of the most amazing places I'd ever been. And there were tons and tons of cats everywhere, but not just street cats. Like there's this giant stone fort built in the 1600s or maybe even a little older. And there were cats that were kind of peeking out of little cracks in the wall and along the shoreline. And they all kind of lived on the promenade around this giant fort. And I thought, and I was telling my mom, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if the cats actually lived inside the fort, inside the hill, and there was just this cat kingdom? And but the thing is, today, all the cats are kind of fat and lazy, and they don't really do very much, and they just hang out in the sun. But back in the past, like 400 years ago, that they were warriors and, you know, all these great and explorers and adventurers. And then there's like a couple of kittens that live in the wall that wish that things used to be the way they used to be. I mean, are the way they used to be. And at first I was like, you know, maybe I'll write like a picture book for kids. And then my friend was thinking of, we were thinking of pitching some web series. So we're thinking of maybe doing a web series. So I did like a little prospectus for, you know, just something for the internet. And this was in 2011. So it was quite a while ago. And after that, I expanded it into a pitch Bible for a television show. And so I developed all the characters and a seasonal arc and things, and wrote 8 episodes. I had a writing group at the time, and we kind of went back and forth and got feedback and stuff. And then I pitched it, and it just never went anywhere. I had a couple producers interested, but they were all live action producers, and they didn't know anything about animation. So they were just kind of like, at first they're all excited, and then everybody told them how hard animation was, so it never got made. So I shelved it. And that's the thing that I'd kind of been dealing with in LA and in Hollywood and in film, is that until it's made, it's never done. So, but these cats have been haunting me since 2011. And I was visiting my mom during Hurricane Maria in 2017. I was just on vacation, and I was here during Irma and Maria, and we lost electricity for like about 3 months. But we had, I can go into that a separate time. But during that time, I wrote the first draft of that book. Since then, and then I had to go back home, go back to work, things like that. But since then, that went through 7 drafts. And then finally I finished it. And then I just I've conceived of a series of 5 books. So I just finished the second book, and it's in it's out to readers right now. And I started the third book.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
So
We got a classmate of yours here, Dave Kuth.
what's that?
Dave Kuth, he graduated with you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's on the board, he's here.
Oh, do I see him somewhere? I can't. How do I make this big? I'm supposed to be a tech.
He's one of these green chairs way back in the corner.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, I'm looking at the agenda. I don't want to look at the agenda anymore. Whatever. Like.
So, in any event, congratulations on all your success. It's our honor to recognize you. In addition to the donation of the book, we do have a Pride and Promise Award wall. The current year goes out so all the kids will be able to see you. And then we have a memorial wall over here of past years. So you're going to be hanging up here for quite some time.
Oh, cool. Cool. Well, thank you very much. It was very much a surprise.
We sent her a certificate.
She already.
You already
Yes.
have it.
Yeah.
All right.
And
And some gear.
yeah, and some
All
gear.
right. We never have too much spark gear.
Yeah, I was wearing it yesterday. I was on a hike in the rainforest because there is a rainforest here, and somebody stopped me, and they were like, "Oh, you're from Michigan State," and I'm like, "No." It's like, "Yes, you are. That's that T-shirt."
Although, urban legend, and I don't know if you've heard this one, that the Gaylord family on Lawford Road, it's a brick ranch, it's a couple
Yes.
of from Mahoney, when the school, remember, Laurel's a merger, right? Eastbrook High, okay? What color is Eastbrook High, by the way? Anyone know? Royal blue and gold. So, this Gaylord kid put together, he was going to pattern the Laurel Spartans after the Michigan State Spartans, and the rest is history. Now, we do have our own Spartan head because we don't want to violate trademark with the NCAA.
Yeah.
We're frequent visitors at MSU Shop. So, congratulations.
Yeah. I guess my. Thank you. Yeah.
We're going to continue with our agenda. You're welcome to stay on. It's rather riveting.
It's like, well, thanks for having me, and thank you for this award.
One quick second before you go. Hey, Nick, our reporter from the news, any question for our author? We'll take that as a no, Nick.
Okay.
Thank you, Monica.
Okay, I'll see you around.
Hopefully.
Yeah, actually, when we built a new gym years ago, it was a big deal. When we put the Spartan head on there,
Right.
we had to have it turning, looking left.
Yeah,
I
right.
remember your dad, it was a big.
It was a
thing
big,
about that.
he was always right. The Spartan has to look left.
Well, yeah, it was always, well, the only way we remembered was looking left for Leonard.
Leonard looking
So
left.
everybody could remember.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Sandy used to tell me that. Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay, a motion to approve the minutes from the February 12th, 2025 regular meeting of the board. Motion by Mr. Coos, second by Mr. Aldridge. Motion. Treasurer's report. Any volunteers? I don't know if he's. Here, yeah.
Treasury report item 7, item A, it is a recommendation of the superintendent of the board to approve the treasurer's report as of February 28, 2025, as outlined below. Balances of January 31st, 2025 is $1,512,737.66. Receipts during February 2025 were $2,248,115.18. Expenditures during February were $1,508,024.57, and the balance as of February 28, 2025 was $2,252,828.27. Item B, approval of the treasurer's report. It is the recommendation of the superintendent to the board to approve the attached investment report from February 2025. I put in the motion.
Motion by Mr. Hill, second by Mrs. Brest. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor? Motion carries. And it's time to do bill listings A, B.
Item A, it is the recommendation of the superintendent to the board to approve general fund bill listing for March 12, 2025 in the amount of $26,368.41, and checks written manually in the month of February 2025 in the amount of $822,274.49 for a total of $848,642.90. Item B, list of food services fund bills. It is the recommendation of the superintendent to the board to approve the food service fund bill listed for March 12, 2025 in the amount of $42,524.82.
Motion by Mr. Hill, second by Mr. Kuth. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor? Motion carries. It's a nice job on the numbers, Seth. You got through that pretty quick. I usually get hung up on one or two. Item 9, board action items. Mrs. Sinceri.
The recommendation of the superintendent to the board for items A, retirement resignations, B, next advisor, C, girls track coach for junior high and middle school, D, mentor teacher, E, professional development workshop seminars, and add additions to the volunteer non-instructional substitute listing for the 24-25 school year. I put that in the form of motion.
Motion by Mrs. Sinceri, second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 10, committee of the whole. Item 1, settlement agreement, PA Leadership Cyber Charter School. Item B, Midwestern Intermediate Unit Operating Budget. Item C, student teacher. And item D, District 5 co-host regional course.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Kuth, second by Ms. Sinceri. Any discussion on the motions? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? Motions carry. And item E is the 2025-2028 comprehensive plan. Item F, renewal agreement with Sager Motors. G, independent gymnast. H, disposal of obsolete textbooks. And I, field trips, student activity trips. Motion by Mr. Kuth, second by Mrs. Eldridge. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Comments or questions from the floor relative to non-agenda items?
Not from the floor, but I think that Mr. Kuth should organize another athletic committee meeting. Used the previous memo regarding JDS as a guide. Okay, what do we like? What do we don't? And I think moving forward, if we're going to renew that agreement, I think rather than just a memo, I think we need to get your work product to Mr. Mangino. I think it'd be advisable for Mr. Mangino to hear that. So if we're going to move forward with JDS, we have a contract, right? Also, Mr. Mangino, little homework. as we pursue a contract with JDS, does our liability extend down there? Should somebody get hurt, or does it impact both liabilities? That was a legal question proposed to me that I didn't have an answer for. But as far as expectations for Jeff, expectations for the coaches, I think between now and the next board meeting, it'd be possible to reconvene the athletic.
Yeah, I would think that we would want to see insurance from JDS with the school district listed as an additional insured.
Perfect, thank you. And then also, I'm going to request Mr. Redfoot that we have another State of Laurel at 6 o'clock before the April work session. Okay, I think some decisions need to be made. One, Gym 2. The basketball, volleyball gym, signs made. If you want to do something with those bleachers and you wanted to be able to be insured, we can do some homework on that. We did get a price, and it's $220,000, $250,000, right? To replace. Now, keep in mind, as bad as that number is, understand that's never going to go down. Okay, we bit the bullet a few years back, and I think it's paid dividends in Gym 1.
Yeah, the old gym.
Old gym, aka the varsity wrestling gym. Okay, it's created a nice environment, particularly with that wrestling light. So we'll be happy as an administrative team to facilitate that, but I think you got to bring your questions. Is the juice worth the squeeze? I go back and forth. I'll have Rich ready relative to answering your questions. That's the biggest one. I think the other ones are yes, no's, maybe so's. But if we're going to move on that, we're not going to look at installation really till this time next year. It's not going to be up. It's a 6-month lead time. So there's no sense trying to think that we're going to have it in before the season. So we might as well take our time, make the decision, have a March installation. It won't impact the gym classes, hopefully. The weather's nice and they can go outside, or they can use Gym 1.
If we go the route with the bleachers, I know I've talked to Kenny, he wanted to.
Yes.
A little input in that. He doesn't want the bleachers to come in.
No, the other side will look like what Shenango does.
Right.
Okay, there'll be the scores table, we'll have our chairs, and we'll have enough seats, but any traffic will be behind the teams. So you're welcome to come, but we're already gonna do that.
Yeah, it's a shame to change it. I mean, it's all because of the handrails.
ADA, yeah.
But, if you get somebody hurt, the thing is, I guess if you don't change it now, we put the track off a couple of years now. We put it off a couple more years and you end up with these both at the same time.
You're gonna end up with $1 million project.
It is a little nerve wracking to watch some of those people go up and down those bleachers too.
Me, myself, I
Somebody-
fell in
Well, yeah, your wife too is one. I'm like, oh boy. Somebody's gonna eat it one of these days.
So athletic committee, at your discretion, you can coordinate that. State of Laurel, 6 o'clock before the work session.
You want that athletic committee meeting before the state of law?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause we want that for.
Yeah, because I'd like to be able to have something worked out contract wise so that we have that all set in place.
JDS is part of the state of Laurel, so we'll continue that.
Right. Now, as far as putting a contract together, I did mention to Kurt yesterday about, getting something together that sort of covered what, I don't want a 6-page contract. I want something simple that we can follow. But,
Yeah, something concise.
Let's see what Esquire comes up with,
okay.
right? Because I'm sure there's certain legalese and all that. We're not looking for a novel. Do your best, Esquire.
Yeah, we can make it concise, but we want to make sure that we're protected as much as possible.
We're on a budget, so. But yeah, and maybe if we scheduled the athletic committee meeting, maybe a week or two before the board meeting, it would give them time to get something put together for us to look at. Is there anybody you want in there with us?
Understand something, I wouldn't make it bigger, I'd make it smaller, okay? You have chair of the athletic committee, you have the athletic committee representatives, you're gonna have the, attorney, and I think you should have the principal and the AD. If you want to coach, I would have a coaching representative. I think we need to bring in all.
Yeah. Yeah, because it seems like that's where the biggest problem is with those extra kids. I mean, the cheerleading, volleyball, I don't think this affects any of them as far as.
Golf doesn't do it.
Okay. Anything else to come for the board this evening?
This is long voting meetings, 25 after.
Yeah. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. Dave and second by Mrs. Surrey. Dave. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, everybody.